good. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome back to the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast, episode number
20.
20, which, man, I mean, wow.
We made it another week.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, yeah.
Well, you don't have to really say anything. But you know what you should do is we should, well, since you're so amazed about this.
I am.
I think the other part that you probably want to highlight is the international growth.
That is actually a good idea. So something happened between the last episode and this episode. It's funny. I keep saying to you, like, what is happening? Right? Yeah. I keep saying, what is going on? Like, what is happening? and the crazy part about it is every time we speak about something.
Yeah.
Not every time, but a lot of the time when we mention something on this podcast.
Yes.
It happens.
So give an example, please.
So have you read the book, The Secret? It's like
what you put out to the world will come back to you.
100%. Exactly right. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
You want to know what the real secret is?
Tell me. It's bullshit. The secret's bullshit.
Wait.
It might be.
There's only one person that knows the secret.
Chuck Norris?
Yes!
Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, his jokes get funnier and funnier. I can't, don't even bring them up. Don't even pull them up. But yes, our geographic reach seems to be growing every single time we speak about it. Cause you mentioned, I want to say on our last podcast or the one before that, you had mentioned Sweden and Switzerland. Sweden came very, very shortly after that.
Yep.
And then Switzerland just came. So between episode 19 and now.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start? You want me to start in the States? Or am I starting in Canada? Where do you want me to start?
What? Just you can go down the
Okay,
list.
so we'll go down the list. So we had mentioned on the last episode that we were missing West Virginia, North Dakota, South Dakota, right? And there were a couple other names in there, among others. And when we got off of last episode, North Dakota was there.
West Virginia came while we were recording.
West Virginia came while we were recording, and then South Dakota showed up. So we got North Dakota, South Dakota, and West Virginia. I want to say we're missing Delaware, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oregon, Idaho. Is that it?
Alaska.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
No, there's not many, but listen.
No.
The bottom line and the reason why I think we keep on like getting so excited about this is not because it's like necessarily our egos per se, but like we're just super excited that
people like what we're putting out.
That clearly that there's value in that people are tuning in and however they're coming across it,
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But really just, thanks, for listening and
downloading and sharing it.
All that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, clearly you guys are liking what we're saying. So we're going to try to keep bringing you what you like. And if you want to write us and tell us what you like and what you don't like, maybe we can kind of, narrow it down a little more and really kind of deliver exactly what you guys are liking. But we're going to keep going because clearly there's some traction here.
No doubt. Canada, we picked up New Brunswick.
And
Saskatchewan.
So we are in all 10.
All 10.
Canadian provinces. There's 3 territories.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to show up on our map. I don't know if they're on our map. But we are in all 10 Canadian provinces.
Awesome.
Which is sick.
Yep.
And then our overseas reach is continues to grow. How they're finding it, I don't know.
Right. So in Sweden and in France, we picked up 2 new regions.
In
those countries.
Both those places. Yep.
No doubt.
Yep. And then we picked up South Korea, Seoul, South Korea, Mexico. Mm-hmm. Mexico was Baja, right? It was somewhere down south of San Diego, right?
Whale's vagina.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie. We picked up Baja California Sur in Mexico. So Mexico, Seoul, South Korea. What?
Little bits of panther.
It's got real panther in it. So I could rattle the lines off of that like crazy. My bad. What else did we pick? We picked up Latvia.
Yep.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I think it's Trina. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We picked up Latvia. We picked up, we said Switzerland, South Korea, Mexico, Switzerland, Latvia, Hong Kong.
Yep.
And Sweden.
And Albania.
And Albania. I forgot Albania. That's right. Oh, I forgot Albania. Yes.
Yep.
Which is wild.
Yeah, man.
I didn't realize hockey was played in Albania.
Yeah.
You know? But and we've always said, like, all of a sudden out east. I mean, so we have Hong Kong. We have Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan. I mean, Taiwan. Are you surprised?
Yeah, I absolutely. Am I surprised? Yes. Yes.
Latvia doesn't surprise me. Sweden, Switzerland don't surprise me.
I think I'm still. I think when I see like the growth, I'm surprised every time.
Well, I am too. I'm surprised that things are popping up. Right? I don't know what the algorithm is, or people sharing overseas. I don't know.
So also, we posted our first like reel, our first short on YouTube.
We did.
So
yes,
social,
we did.
we're warming that up a little more. So please check us out.
Yeah.
On
Instagram,
TikTok, YouTube
TikTok,
Shorts, etc. So yeah, check us out there as well.
Yeah.
So that's new. We should be doing that more regularly now.
Now that we figured out how to clip everything. Yes, we're figuring this out as we go.
Yes.
Matter of fact, speaking of figuring things out, we have a treat for you guys today. Like we promised last episode, we have our first interview with my buddy Chris. So our first Hockey Dad interview that Scott kind of figured out how to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't. Yes,
you did. You figured it out.
The technology part we figured out.
It was not easy.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Listen, like a lot of this stuff. There's a learning curve attached to it, and
yes, there is.
But we did it.
That was a nice job by you.
All good. We'll keep doing it. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you.
And it's a great interview by Chris. I hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that shortly. You guys are really going to enjoy that interview. But so tell me. So Otto's back from camp.
Yeah, that's right.
Back from mountain biking camp, right?
Yeah, the Otto man got back, and yeah, he was exhausted, but he had a great time, and I have to say it's when thinking about second sports, right? Like I don't know that I would have ever said mountain biking is like.
It's a sport.
No. I know it's a sport, no doubt. But if you had asked me like a year ago if like I would have ever thought mountain biking would be a second sport for him, you would
have said no.
No, but
you wouldn't have said yes.
No, I wouldn't have said yes. Yeah. But no, he's into it, and he was at like a pretty heavy duty location up in New Hampshire,
right?
Highland, whatever it's called. Nonetheless, don't need to talk about that too much. But he got he had a ton of like trail time,
I'm sure.
And yeah, he just continued to work on some skills, gaining skills. Nice. So he's still very much a beginner, but he's feeling good about it and he's loving it. So
nice. Probably pretty good being on your own too, away from mom and dad for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think that also had like pros and cons to it. He did really well.
Didn't want to come home, so clearly.
I don't know that he didn't want to come home.
Well, you know what I mean. He didn't have to go get him. Is my point.
I think that the biggest challenge was just the amount of physical activity he did over the last 3 weeks between hockey camp and mountain biking.
Yeah, he was busy.
It was a lot of physical activity. So I think
he was super busy, man.
To that end, he was tired.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's exhausted.
Totally exhausted.
You
could see it in his eyes when we picked him up.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
It was funny. The camp actually, they had a photographer like on the trails, and they would take pictures.
Oh,
of
very
the kids,
cool.
Like, doing stuff.
Did you get to buy them when you got there?
You didn't have to buy them. They uploaded them, and we can download them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great. But they took a pic. Apparently, he opted out of like an afternoon ride, and he went to the nurse's office, and he went to sleep.
Really?
I swear to God. He was exhausted. Now,
okay.
I mean, there is part of me that wants to be like, why are you sleeping? But at the same time, like I know for a fact he was like the youngest kid there, and
right.
I'm pretty sure the tempo might have been higher than what. It doesn't matter. I'm not even making excuses. The bottom line is the kid needed rest, so he decided to get rest, and that's fine.
All right, listen.
That's fine. But yeah, I got a picture of that too. That's what I'm saying.
Of him sleeping.
Yeah, of him sleeping.
Gotcha. All right, listen. That's cool. Listen, whatever works. You know. What's funny that I wanted to touch on just for shits and giggles.
What?
I wanted to touch on the fact that when we recorded the last podcast in 19, we had a timer during that podcast.
100% we did.
And the funny part about it is that we didn't know while we were shooting it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
We did not know that you all could hear our timer. We found out when we played it back to ourselves after it was recorded, and we go, oh, shit.
Well, it's funny you say that because we have...
Oh, no.
So I'm going to bring this guy and his company up in a moment. So Eric from Athletic Performance Insight,
right? Who we will talk about.
Yeah,
yes,
we were going back and forth, and he goes, "I'm so glad you explained what was happening because I didn't know what the beeping was in my earphones." It's like because he thought it was like on his end.
I'm sure
like,
everybody
not
did.
That like what the fuck?
Well, the first time it happened, we started giggling. And then, like, the big one happened, and we really started. And then I just happened to say, oh, Scott, why don't you tell everybody what that was?
Yeah.
Not knowing that our entire audience could actually hear what we were hearing. We thought that it was isolated to our ears.
No.
It was not.
No.
So, so that was actually pretty funny when you go back and listen to it.
That was funny.
And like all of our other podcasts, we do not edit. We just we record and publish. So, so you guys got... Yeah.
Yep.
That was an experience.
You got the learning curve.
Yes, that's for sure. Yes. I see that Scott's timer is muted today.
Oh, it is muted. Yes.
I see that.
Well, I went back into the settings and I toggled the thingy and
learning curve, like you said before.
Learning
But
curve.
we're figuring it out.
100%.
Every episode gets better. That's what I keep saying.
So I mentioned Eric.
Yeah.
We should just do a quick shout out to partners.
Yeah, sure. You want to do it? You got it.
Yeah, sure. So everyone, Howie's Hockey.
Oh,
Let's not
Crazy
forget
10.
Crazy 10. Use that discount code.
Yes. Laces, tape, gear.
All of it.
Season's coming up. Go get yourself some, like Scott loves the flame tape so much. So go get yourself flame tape.
Such a flavor.
Go get yourself the USA red, white, and blue.
Yep.
Go get yourself the Canadian leaf, right? The Canadian red leaf.
Yep.
What else? The red.
There's camo.
There's
the tape.
Yeah, like you said, more for younger kids.
More for younger kids. But you know what I really like though?
Everybody else just go get black and white.
Like their apparel. Like they got a lot of great apparel.
Cool sweatshirts.
100%.
I love their vintage look.
Yeah.
Like the washed blue and the washed gray. Like that stuff's really cool.
You saw how they have the one where it's like an H that they made with tape.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
You see those hats everywhere.
The Howie's hat.
You see the H, the tape in the H. You see them everywhere.
Howie's. Yeah.
Very cool. It's a very cool little design.
No doubt. Use Crazy 10, Howie's Hockey.
10, please. Yeah. Support the show.
And then we have Pro Stride.
Angelo
Circe, head skating coach for the New Jersey Devils.
Like Scott said, not a big deal.
No, that's true. A little bit. But
head skating coach, no big deal.
So check out Pro Stride Elite Skating.
Yeah.
Check out their website.
He's awesome.
You can use discount code CHD10.
CHD10.
And they are leaders in skating development. They have power skating experts.
Angelo's awesome,
and they run these clinics and power skating sessions all over the country. All over the country
and in Canada. Yeah.
So take a look on their website, see if they're near you.
Yes.
Guy Angelo is awesome.
You'll get a lot out of it. Lengthen your kid's stride. He'll actually bring it back to. Angelo has this thing where a lot of kids don't bring their stride back
all the way back underneath them.
Yep. So you're only pushing with like 70%,
right?
85%. So you're losing an entire burst, which across a sheet of ice
is a lot. Yeah. So check them out.
Yeah,
and then he'll be a guest at some point. Haven't locked down that date.
Haven't locked it down yet. We're going to do a part 2 with our buddy Chris Vollmer, right?
Yep.
That's the plan. So you guys are going to get part 1 today. You'll get part 2. And then is Kirk coming on too? What's the plan with Kirk? I know we're going back and forth with him.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's game. We just need to schedule that. So the bottom line is we got a lot of great guests coming
of cool
up,
stuff. Yeah.
And Angelo being one of them.
Angelo is one
Pro
of them,
Stride, Elite Skating, CHD10, check it out.
Yep.
And then I also mentioned Eric.
Your buddy.
Yep. So Athletic Performance Insight, API.
You used him before. You used him for an entire couple seasons, 100%,
right? Yeah. Great. So basically API tags and breaks down game footage for team and individual review. Their goal is to make technology accessible for almost like any team through affordable pricing.
Yeah.
They have organizational discounts as well as the option to spread payments using an installment plan. So
now you used him for a couple seasons when you were breaking film down.
I did. Yeah, definitely used him.
Yeah.
Super great guy to work with.
Yeah, seems like a nice guy.
The technology is great, very user friendly, and it's certainly our audience. I'm sure we've got some some team managers, coaches.
Yeah, sure.
So check out API Athletic Performance Insight,
or even people that own like organizations maybe. You get it for your whole organization.
No doubt, but they break down tag games, and I would run video from Otto's teams the last couple of years. Last year, that's pretty much all I did. And it's just such a one up in terms of giving these kids another way to learn about the game of ice hockey.
Right.
So many kids are just like visual
just
learners.
Big as they get older. Yeah.
Now look, it's obviously easy to also overwhelm them with video, but
you do little tiny snippets.
But you do little snippets, and it can be a really powerful tool. So highly recommend checking out Athletic Performance Insight API.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have we have a discount code for them already, or coming soon?
No, coming soon.
Okay, nice.
We'll talk
to
we'll
talk to Eric.
But I just wanted to I didn't want another podcast to go by without shouting.
No, he's great. No, they have. I remember when you were using that a couple years back.
Yeah,
you liked it a lot. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. No, he seems great.
Yeah,
he's got a nice little
and he might.
company.
Hopefully, we'll get him on the pod as well.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, because he also had a kid.
Nice.
Go through the ranks. He's now finished. I think he's. I don't know if
done.
It was a goalie.
Playing?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh
if I'm not
God,
mistaken.
that's not easy.
No, so he can speak to
that side of it. Yeah, I don't know what that world's like. We have a lot of good stuff coming between now and the start of the season.
No doubt.
I mean, we'll do a couple with Vollmer. We'll have Angelo. We'll have Kirk. We'll have your buddy Eric from from API on. I mean, we have a lot of really cool stuff, in the works for you guys.
No doubt.
I'm looking forward to this. And as the season starts and gets closer, we could start doing. This is going to be a lot of fun. The next 6 weeks are going to be a lot of fun here. So stay tuned, everybody.
Let's go.
Yeah. So Otto back in hockey now that he's back from camp?
Yeah. So he didn't have anything for this week.
Right.
Or no, he did, but so he's going to another sleepaway camp next week. So
is he really?
Yeah, he's going to this camp Woodward.
Jesus.
For 4 weeks of sleepaway this summer.
My goodness. Oh, but all different places, right?
3 different places over 4 weeks.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
1 hockey, 1 mountain bike, and 1 X Games. He's doing BMX, dirt
jump.
No
shit. So is that what Woodward is?
Woodward, they have skateboarding,
okay. So this is the X Games camp.
Skateboarding.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's X Games stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Okay.
He's going with a buddy of his.
First time ever?
No, he went last year.
Oh, he did go to one last year. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of all the sleepover camps you have.
That's I mean,
shit's nuts.
It must be nice.
To be him.
Be nice to be him.
Yeah, I keep saying it to Dominic. When you buy him $1,100 skates, it must be nice.
Must be nice.
Jesus Christ, must be nice. My parents weren't doing that shit for me.
Hell no.
No way. No. Say Raymond.
Raymond, take off that mask.
Put down that gun. Raymond, is that you?
Anyway, just circling back to last podcast, I just wanted to also let everyone know I was I had mentioned another pod on our episode 19, and it's Healthy Sports Parents. And it's a great podcast.
I listened to it a little bit today for the first time.
Oh, did you put it on?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, no,
interesting.
It's definitely interesting. They don't talk about hockey.
No, but just in general.
They might, but they just talk.
I'm sure one of them does, right? But it was insightful.
Yeah. So check it out, Healthy Sports Parents.
Yeah,
it's a good good listen, no doubt.
Yeah.
What about Dom? And you had said he had done 3-on-3. How did that? Shake out.
So
that was down in Princeton?
It was down in Tom's River. So for our listeners who don't know, so we live in New Jersey, and Tom's River is I would say the start of the shore points, of the beach points, right, in New Jersey. Wouldn't you say that's sort of accurate?
Yeah.
Right? The start of the beach-ish type towns.
Yeah.
As you go down, Central and South Jersey. So he was asked to play by one of the moms of a kid on our team. Her nephew plays for a coach down Red Bank General.
Red Bank. Yeah, we talked about the rink and the pizza
right.
and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, best pizza in youth hockey.
Yeah. So anyways, I had to go.
So it was good. We mentioned on the podcast what the level was. I thought it was all AA. I was wrong.
It was all...
There was a lot of AAA kids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It was high end?
It was... I would say higher. I wouldn't say high end, but higher.
Yeah.
Did
he boss?
He played very well. his team so it was 3-on-3, but there were 6 kids, 2 lines of 3.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes they blew the horn.
Yeah.
Right.
Switch up.
So they didn't lose a game, and they won the finals like 11-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It's funny. The goalie was an old Rockets goalie.
On his team or the one he played against?
On Dom's team. Yeah.
Oh, so they knew each other.
Yeah, he knew him. Yeah.
Oh.
And the kid we played against in the district finals played on the opposite team against him. Oh yeah.
There's a little bit of a rivalry, huh?
No question about it. I was talking to the dad. I saw the dad outside the rink when we pulled up. He was actually a nice guy. We played because we wanted to playing them, in the league finals.
The Delaware Ducks.
In the we both beat them to get to.
Oh, you both beat. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, no, this kid played on Brick.
Oh, okay.
He played for Brick. So we beat them in the league final, and then we beat them in the district final.
And when you say Brick, like Brick, the town.
The town of Brick. Brick Hockey Club.
He didn't play at the Brick tournament.
Brick Hockey Club.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so he was on the opposite team. He is also moving up to a higher level of hockey. This kid's good. He's big.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Big boy. Yeah. So Dominic shockingly played well.
It's not shocking.
No, it was shocking because
he led the league in scoring last year.
I understand that, but he still can't skate well because his brand new skates. So he's like a goof on his skates because so he went from a junior to an intermediate, and his skates are big and bulky. So he's not like he still says like, Dad, I still can't turn well on them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, he's not comfortable on his edges.
Not yet, huh?
Not even a little bit. He skated on them twice before this.
Interesting.
Right. So or maybe 3 times. But he's not comfortable on them. That's for sure. So it's like he's skating on like with moon boots.
Interesting.
Or like ski boots.
Okay.
But he played well. He had like a between the legs bar down.
No doubt.
Which is pretty filthy. Yeah, that was nice.
He's pulled that off once or twice.
He has. That was a nice one. When it clips the crossbar and goes in is always nice. He played well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he played well. But you could see that. Even the other kids. So Red Bank is considered like a lower tier AAA team in our area, right? They're like an up and coming, right? But the kids could play.
Yeah.
Good. They could skate and they could play. One kid had a rocket of a shot.
Did he? Yeah.
Dude.
You're seeing that more. I mean, I'm seeing it a little bit more and more. I can only imagine what you're seeing.
Kid had a rocket, but the goalies were all very impressive.
Also bigger, less. Not necessarily.
Yeah, no, they were more padding, right?
Less net to shoot at.
less daylight, right? But it was good.
Yeah,
it was
awesome,
good,
man.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
It was good stuff. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Congrats
So that's that. That's our kind of intro. We're gonna throw it over to our interview with Chris.
Let's do it.
Unless you have something you want to chat about.
No.
Okay,
let's do it.
So here's our interview with our first interview with another hockey parent that's not you and I.
Yes.
So everybody, my good buddy Chris Vollmer, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey everybody, we are here with my good buddy Chris. Chris and I have been hockey parents for a long time now, bud. Started and it's only fitting that you're our first interview, which I think is awesome. So Chris and I go back to, our kids were what, like 7? Is that right?
Minor, whatever that was. So
right, like second year mites, right?
Yep.
Cross ice mites. So 7, I think. We did 2 years of mites together. And the funny part about it is we did 2 years of mites together, and then I left, went somewhere else. You stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of reconnected. We always talked, but then we kind of a couple years later got kind of back together. And we're on a pretty heavy duty hockey team together that your son is still on, man. So what's it been like? 5 years?
Well, first off, let me say congratulations, boys. It's actually really fun listening to you guys. Name of the podcast is spot on, and I'm sure you get a lot of hockey parents listening just because of the name of it, because we are all crazy hockey dads or parents or what you want to say. I kind of have a saying. It's like, when somebody comes and plays golf with you and be like, I'm not that good. I've never played golf with somebody that's good. You either suck or you suck a little bit more. And and it's like, we're in this world. I mean, you're crazy or you're just crazy a little bit more than everybody else, right? There's no there's no other way. If you're in this hockey world, you are a crazy hockey parent. So well done. And But yeah, Jay, I mean, we go back, kids playing mites together. Kind of that journey started you and I knowing each other, getting become pretty good friends. The boys becoming
Yeah.
friends, and then yeah, and paths always go different ways, always come back together. But I think the craziness part about us when we decided we were going to try to start a spring hockey team, and then that turned into a regular season team. But that's a longer story. Maybe not to start off, but maybe halfway through this conversation about this crazy hockey world. So
Yes, that is for sure.
So
Yeah.
a quick question, Chris. So, I mean, in terms of your son and like his hockey path, just kind of set the stage in terms of the hockey environments that you've been in. We're talking
yeah,
tier one, triple A, like we're currently playing on a high end team. Like this is like probably top of the top in his birth year, if I'm not mistaken.
correct. I mean, so that's where we're at now. I mean, son
Yeah.
plays for the New Jersey Rockets. We're number two, number three in the country in the last 2 years of where he's at. But where his path started was a funny, and my history is I had no idea. I mean, I never played hockey a day in my life besides some ball hockey in my front yard when you just killed people with a little blue or orange ball. I was a football guy, and the true story comes about is that season ticket holder to the Yankees. And before kids, me and my wife, brother, sister-in-law, going to 70 something games a year, and that's when we had the kids. We thought we'd still take them and do stuff, and then you're realizing you're taking a 1 year old and a 2 year old to the Yankee game, and it's boring, and you're feeding them $1 million worth of food, and going from Brooklyn to Yankee Stadium and then getting home at 11 o'clock at night because baseball games are ungodly long. And
Yep.
the Islanders, who I grew up on the island, the Islanders had moved to Brooklyn at that time. My son was, I don't even think he had turned three yet, or he was just about to turn three. And Islanders moving. I went. I was like, you know what? I'm canceling my season tickets to the Yankees. I'm buying a half a season plan to the Islanders. I came home. I told my wife, and she was like, "What the hell? We do not watch hockey. I am not going to watch hockey. What are you doing?" I'm like, "It'll be fine. We like doing stuff as a family." And again, I always say is like the greatest thing was for my son is growing up an Islander fan. I mean, I know we're in Ranger Town in New York City, and things are
Yeah, you
crazy,
are.
but
Yeah, you are.
you know,
Definitely.
$48 for a seat that's 10 rows behind the goal the Islanders shoot twice at. That ticket in Madison Square Garden is 350, 375. No one's at a game. My son shows up to the game for the first time and his eyes are wide open. 3 years old, watching a game. You can't give him chicken tenders. You can't give him food. He refused to eat it. And took him home the next morning. My wife and I both woke up. True story. Wake up, and there's this little kid out in diapers out in our little 2 bedroom Brooklyn apartment. He's got two chairs, and he's got little broomstick and this Ninja Turtle star that they used to throw around, and he's whacking it in between two chairs. And
Wow.
I bought him this little, those little Franklin sticks with that little ball, and
Yeah.
loved it. And he's whacking around, and my wife was like, I think we need to put him on skates. And I'm like, I don't think that is a good idea. I think we need to put him on skates. I'm like, yeah, I don't know much about hockey, but what I do know, it's pretty friggin' crazy. And you hear stories about getting up. I think we should. And of course, Christmas comes and there's a pair of ice skates underneath the thing. His eyes lit up and took him to his first learn to skate. And it has never stopped since. So
Wow.
Oh
that is his
yeah.
journey from where he is there. And that's kind of how it all how started. And not only was he in this world and the thought that the world that my wife and I or my daughter that are living in is just something I would never thought of 8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. Now we've been involved.
It's funny. I didn't know that story. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I knew that he went to a game when he was young, but I did not know about the next morning part of that.
yeah, uh-huh.
You know, that
And
that's wild, man. I mean,
So
it's
so now so he started playing, obviously learned to play, not serious, not competitive. Like around when did you start to get the idea of like the landscape that there was kind of this tier one, tier two, and what and maybe even like at what point did that even start to like matter to you, if it ever did?
yeah, it's funny. I don't know if it really matters to me now. I mean, I'm of course it matters some, right? I mean, you always want your child to strive to be the best. So there's some mattering of him playing and practicing and being well. But I mean, in terms of the whole landscape of it, you know, the whole AAA stuff around here, you know, especially growing up playing a different sport is still mind-boggling to me what people go through. But I'll go back to, like, it's so funny because, and I'm going to reference Ryan's best friend in this too, because it's like, it's a funny story how the journey started and the kind of where we started. So we started to learn to skate, and it was his first or second learn to skate session. And you're in these with all these kids, and you know, these kids are like wearing figure skates and ski helmets, and it's just like falling down all over the ice. And some kids have this stick, and you know, you sit in this locker room with 30, 40 kids, and afterwards, and getting unchanged, and there's Ryan wrestling with this kid in the middle of the locker room, and you know, you're trying to tell him stop. I don't know who this kid is, and you know, I don't know who the parent is, and they're just rolling around in the locker room, right? And so things are clearing out, and then there's, you know, now there's 5 kids, and now there's just 2, and there's rolling, and there's this our other friend sitting across, and I won't say names just in case people are not, but this dude is sitting all the way across on the other side of the locker room.
I've mentioned his name a couple times already on the podcast. If
All
you
right.
want to.
So Kareem is sitting on the other side of it, and he's looking at the kids, and I'm looking at the kids, and I don't know. I mean, obviously he's cool because they're beating the hell out of each other in this locker room, right? And so I introduced him like, "Hey, I'm Chris." He's like, "Yo, I'm Kareem." And you know, we kind of let the kids like roll around a little bit. "Hey, I'm from Brooklyn." "Hey, I'm from Brooklyn too." Just kind of randomness. We're in City Ice Pavilion on this rooftop in Queens, right by the just shithole of a rink. And but something I would never change, right? I love that, you know, that Ryan grew up playing in this rink. But so all of a sudden it's like, boys, it's time to go. You know, we have a learn to skate next week. You'll see to each other next week. And then they're starting to walk to the elevator, and Kel jumps on Ryan's back, my son Ryan's back, and literally Ryan lifts his head up, smashes this kid in the eye, splits his eye, swollen shut. Literally first time meeting each other, right? Boys have been inseparable ever since. So you had this kind of learn to skate where we're then all the kid too is talking about going back to skating. Can we go back to see each other? Because this is where they saw each other, right? So they wanted to go back and wanted to go back and wanted to go back. And so you put them in this, they went to learn to skate, and they pretty quickly, like, they were like, all right, we're ready for hockey 1 or hockey 2. And then within like 4 months, and you talk about these kids are 4, they just turned 3, 4, 5, then 5 years old, like that. And so they were decent enough skaters, which is wild. I think just because you put them on the ice, that they started this hockey prep where they started those ADMs where they just have to break the ice down in like 8 sections. And you're there, and both of these two are pretty good, even though they're the younger of. I mean, you're playing with mites. The kids are. It's amazing. Mites now, what, go to what? 8, 9? What does it go to?
8. I think it's 8.
Yeah, it goes to 8. So they're like 4 and 5, and they're putting them on with like 8-year-olds. It's nothing like special. They're able to stand up on the ice better than some kids. That's all it is.
Right.
And so they finished their first year of that. And again, this is funny with me because Kareem and I sometimes have 2 different things. It's like, hey, these kids should play travel hockey. And you're like, wait, what? And remember, it's that first like big, like tryouts are coming. Your kid, you know, get on. So, you know, I had Ryan try out. Kareem didn't have his son try out. He's like, screw this. I'm not doing this. He's like, this is too much money. And I didn't know what it was. So he makes this so-called triple A 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old team, whatever the heck it was, right? And excited. Ryan gets his first jersey. The bill comes at $6,000. I was like, $6,000?
Is that what they got you for? As a mite?
What the hell is this? I mean, I thought I was paying like $250. So they send us up every Sunday. We had to go to this half cross ice thing up at Chelsea Piers, Connecticut. And at first I was, you know, you're excited because he gets to go play. And then I'm like halfway through, I'm like, why am I bringing my 6-year-old up to this? And then we're losing games like 92-0. And I'm like, somebody said that you're good. You're like playing this AAA mite hockey. And then that was my first of like, oh, this is all bull crap. Like kind of like of stuff, right? And you're just getting, it was just wild. And then so my buddy Kareem was like, yeah, I told you, man. I mean, I told you. And then so the boys progressed that year and they did it. And our first thought was the organization, just like anything, you take $6,000, just like everybody feels like you're this young. I'm like, what are we paying for? And that was our first thought of both us as parents, because this is a whole nother story ourselves, is our two families, these two boys have brought these two families together. So I have one son, right? And I don't know what it's like to be a hockey parent with multiple kids, because God bless those people, like legitimately have no
Yep.
idea how to handle it.
Agreed.
So there's two kids. They're basically like, the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. That's these two. One couldn't be taller or smaller than the other. They've been together, and we have two families that are able to take care of these kids and split responsibilities. And so for us, it was a decision together. Is all right, if these kids want to play, where do we play? And then again, we had no idea this landscape. We tried out at the New Jersey Avalanche, and they made that team. And again, you always feed into it a little bit. It's like, hey, my kid made this team. But as you get older, you kind of know that some of this stuff is a little bit of BS, and you try not to take it serious now. And that's kind of like on my journey of what I think about as how crazy I was, because you get excited about those things, and you see your kid, and he seems to be okay, and and you turn nuts. We all turn nuts. Like we all
A little bit, yeah.
get crazy in our
Yeah.
sense, and the time and the money that we spend. And then like I'm going through this situation now, whereas I'm trying to make myself less crazy as I go along, and I'm trying to understand where I'm a lunatic and try to pull back, because he's seeing it now that he's a teenager. And so yeah, there's like these journeys along the way. But yeah, so my point, yes, my son plays AAA for the New Jersey Rockets right now. He's on a very good team. What does that mean in the grand scheme of thing at this age? To be honest, with you, probably nothing. Um, you know, I don't think it. This year he's first year Bantams, and the game changes. And we have a coach that tells us, well, this is the first real hockey game they'll ever play in a couple months, and they're not playing Little League anymore, right? And so it doesn't matter how good you've been before. I mean, I have no idea how he reacts to these situations and what's moving forward. It's going to be fun to watch, but yeah. So that's my little bit of the start of how I got into it.
That amazing, amazing. So you started talking about like just like some self-reflection on you recognizing like you were like crazy in your own way, and now you're trying to be a little less crazy. I can speak from my own experience. Like what crazy has looked like to me is like I coached my kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I would do video review, setting up like goalie cams on both ends and getting games tagged, and I'm taking my kid before school to, private lessons, So just what are some of the things that looking back on it, not saying it was that you would have done it differently, but what are some of the things that maybe you could have done without or feel like a little extreme now that you look back on it, if anything?
Oh yeah, there's a lot that I feel like I could do without, but kind of going forward. And I remember, and again, I'll bring Kareem's name up again, because I remember the first time. It's like Jamie, you were there. Well, you weren't there with us in this situation, but you were on the team. We were at the Avalanche, and
Right.
we were in this tournament in Pittsburgh. It's a Winter Classic, and it's actually a bigger tournament in that for the younger birth years of what people say are big tournaments, right? And we had made the finals, right? And
I
so
wasn't there with you. I left that year. I left right before
was
you
that
guys
the
got
year?
there. Yeah, I
All right.
left.
So all right. So
Yeah,
anyway, so we're at the
yeah.
Avalanche. We playing in this tournament in Pittsburgh, and we make the finals, right? And so the finals are actually at the Pittsburgh Penguins practice facility, right? So we get
Mhm.
there early. Actually, the Penguins are playing. I mean, they're not playing; they're practicing. It was kind of cool to watch, kids watching it. But then they shipped over, and then they put like this Bantam games, this U18 game on, right? And so we have like an hour to kill before the games, kids doing the warm up. So Kareem and I decide we're going to go watch this big kid game. We're watching 8 years old. I think they're 8, 9, maybe first year squirts. We were 9. And so, you're in this tournament, kids are going stuff. Parents are yelling, they're going crazy. You get excited. You're telling your kids, everybody in our stands, and every parent is nuts, screaming at these kids. So we go to watch this Bantam game. And now this is real hockey. These kids are legitimately killing each other in this game. And all these parents, right? And so we're just sitting next to this dad. He's kind of just leaning back on his chairs. And these kids are blasting the hell out of each other. And there is not one reaction from a parent. When I say nothing, these people are late. You literally could just tell they're checking their watch for this game to be over. Can't wait to get the hell out of there, right?
Because
So
they're
the guy sits
seasoned.
us. Well, yeah, exactly right. So we strike up a conversation with the guy. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys here for?" We're like, "Oh, our kids are, about to play the we're all proud championship game on the other rink. What year are they?" They're like, "Squirts." He's like, "Oh." He was basically like, "Oh." He's like, "Oh man, you're just at the beginning." He's like, "Buckle up for this ride." And we're like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I'm from Connecticut." He's like, I'm like, I asked him, I was like, this, what kind of game? He's like, "Yeah, this is the finals." He's like, I'm like, "You guys don't seem excited." He's like, "Man," he's like, "I've been doing this a long time." He's like, "This is just another hockey game." He's like, "I can't wait for this game to end. I just want to be home." He's like, "You guys will see. You're at the beginning part. Everything's new. It's fresh, exciting, get crazy." He's like, and he was just like this stone that was, he must have had edges on him one day, but he was just smooth and rounded. And like I said, they're in a real hockey game, and there's no reactions from parents. There's no people going nuts in the stands. And then you turn to our sport game, and this parents screaming and yelling and getting fights with other people and yelling at the referees and doing this stuff. But it was my first real, and I vividly remember where I was at, what I was doing. It's like, oh man, this is going to be interesting. And so I feel like I'm halfway to that journey of trying to be that smooth rock. And I've done better of trying to control my emotions around people, because I've been nuts in the rink and did everything that everybody else did. But yeah, that was my first, like, that's the guy I strive to be right now, to be as calm as that is a rink one day. And maybe I'll get there. But in terms of things that we've overdone, or what I wouldn't do again, and this is probably my first year of doing it. And a lot of it has to do with our coach right now, who again tells us, like, you don't need to do so much spring hockey. You don't need to do all the tournaments. I mean, my son just played his first tournament of this since March. The regular season ended just 2 weeks ago. And the last couple of years, I was a guy that was 4 or 5 tournaments deep, 6 tournaments deep at this point in time, right? And you always felt no, because you felt the fear of missing out, or if you say no, he's never going to get invited again, and you got to make this person happy, you got to make this coach happy. This guy, he has a good team here. Son played for this, or he played at this college. His father is this. You got to go do that. And yeah, if I had to do it all again, if somebody's out there listening to me, their son plays mites, if they play squirts, you don't need to go to a million tournaments. I'm telling you, if you really feel like it, you got to pick one or two. I mean, go out and do those things. There's no need to be going to the Boston Showdown every friggin' Memorial Day weekend and wasting a 3-day weekend. And I did it for 5 years. I mean, I get it. Have your kid play another sport. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, this is just dealing with my kids, or the kids that I know in my son's area, is like, we're at the point where off ice is becoming important. These kids are starting to go through puberty. They need to start working out a little bit more. They need to start getting their body stronger. And you look at half the kids, they don't know how to friggin' run. They legitimately don't know how to run because they've skated so much, right? And so this year, my son played lacrosse. He played he did some MMA. Last year it was baseball. And all these kids are really good athletes when you take them off, that they're skilled at this level. But the basics of just going out and playing a different sport. And I love that he played lacrosse this year, because it wasn't a competitive team. We didn't play travel. We paid rec. It was $250 for the season. I showed up. I had zero expectations. I can actually sit there and enjoy watching him. Whereas you're in the hockey environment, everything is your mind as a parent. You're always so critical on your kid. We're all here. There's a reason why I'm on this podcast. There's a reason why you guys started the podcast, and the reason why everybody else there is listening to this podcast, because they all do the same thing. They might say it verbally when they're around you, but they sure as hell do it in the car, at home, in a hotel room, somewhere. And so when you're in that other environment and they're playing another sport, and you don't have that expectations because they're there just to have fun, it's actually a freeing experience. So I'd say to anybody out there that's younger, is play another sport, do something separate in the spring and the off time. Again, choose a tournament if you want to go to. I'm not saying not do that. My other thing is concentrate a little bit more on skating and less on games and less on tournaments. If you're going to be on the ice, have your kids skate with somebody, literally just skating. And anybody that I talk to at the older level now, these kids that are playing U16, U18, you're asking the advice is have them skate with different skating coaches, have them, do that, shoot pucks off the ice. They don't have to be on the ice all the time. They can be doing stuff like hand-eye coordination from a different sport helps. And so you hear that from other older parents from where on. So if there's somebody out there right now, don't fall into the money grab trap of spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on hotel rooms and travel and plane tickets to go play meaningless, ugly, sloppy spring hockey. Choose one or two because it's fun and you want them to do it, but
Right.
don't get wrapped up in the whole, because it really is. It teaches bad habit, and we know kids now that just even this year that have played more games in the spring than they did in the full season already.
That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Chris, we say it all the time.
contracts.
Yeah, we say it all the time that, the amount of time that you have the puck on your stick in a game, right, is nothing compared to practice time.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, practice is so important. That Connecticut, that female Connecticut coach, right? I don't want to say her name, but we all know what we're talking about. She always said, when you're on the ice, you could stick handle at home, you could shoot at home, but when you're on the ice, we're going to skate. Since they were mites, right?
And there's a reason why. I mean, all credit to her, because there's a reason why that she has developed some of the best kids in not only in our area but in the country for the last year. I mean, because she is because of I mean, you don't need to be doing some of that stuff. You're skating and you're working on some development. And when you're spending that money, right? Listen, we all spend the money and you put your time in. You want something out of it, right? And so, but yeah, I mean, it's half of the stuff that can be done is away from the ice, and you don't have to be spending the tens of thousands of dollars that we.
Let me ask you.
We'll save that money for skates.
Yeah. Yeah. Good Lord. That's another thing.
But, I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because so my son, Otto, his like second sport, at least right now, is mountain biking. I just picked him up from 2 weeks of mountain biking camp, loves it. And now he's back for a week before he goes to another biking camp. And, we had signed him up over at the Cutting Edge, and just to, get on the ice, whatever. And, he went Monday, was happy to go. This morning, so not interested in going. And also like during the season when there would be like, some time off or there's a skating clinic or whatever, I'd be like, dude, let's go work on skating. And he would often say no. And so my question for you, and so my son is 10, turning 11. He's now a Pee Wee minor this year, his first year. But I guess my question to you is like, have you had experiences with your son giving pushback on trying to do some of the less fun stuff earlier on? Or has he always been like, give me more? For the parents out here that might like be hearing this and saying like, yes, great, no more spring hockey. Now we're just going to skate. And I know you're not saying that specifically, but like for the younger kids or even kids that might be a little older and might be somewhat reluctant, do you have any firsthand experience with that? Or maybe how would you advise a parent?
First and foremost, and being honest, my son has never really given me pushback on any of it, to the point where with the couple of kids that they hang out with, it's almost like you have to protect them and pull them off the ice more times than not. Now, that's not to say that it's not been like, hey, we're going to this power skating thing. And they're like, and it's not because they're doing power skating, because sometimes they're just not a fan of that coach at certain times. And because if you told them you're going to a different power skating, they're like, yeah, let's do that. Right. And so that's never to say I never got pushback on that stuff. But yeah, like I said, I'm more the parent that has to now, and I'm learning. And I used to just feed them all the time. You want to go more? I'll spend more money. I'll get you on ice here. And I just always said yes, and it was always and to the point where now it's time. It's okay to be off the ice. And he got frustrated maybe these last 3 months because he found out these guys were going to these skates, and he got there was times that he got invited to tournaments. I just wouldn't even tell him. And then because he found out one, and he was literally pissed at me in the car, right? And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not to be here. It's okay to do that, right? And so, and again, I'll bring up my proudest moment. And so I always say, it's like, if he wants it, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll do it. And so he wakes up every once in a while before school. I remember it was 2 years ago, I'd set my alarm for 4:45, just like anybody else. I'd go get him. For some reason, I must have not set my alarm that morning, or I just set it an extra 15 minutes to go up at 5. And he showed up in my bedroom. He's like, Dad, he's like, why aren't you up yet? I'm like, what? He's like, why aren't you up yet? It's 4:50 or 4:45. I go. And I was like, oh, right. I set my alarm for 5. I just figured, I showered last night. I'll brush my teeth and I'll go. But I told him, I was like, that's the most proud I've ever been of him, more than any game-winning goal or overtime or something that he's done in a game, because he had shown that and I told him, I'll never set my alarm again. We're going, you set your alarm. And now there's the mornings that he has to wake up. He started this at 11. And those are cool things as a father, because ultimately that's what I want my child to get out of this. It's not about playing in the NHL one day. It's what this sport will teach him as he gets hopefully into college and through college. Like my best friends in life are guys that I play football with. I mean, those are people that are at my weddings that my kids call uncle, that if my wife's on the side of the road somewhere, if family's member around, she can call them. And I feel like that's what I want for my son. And it's the reason why I'm successful in the business I'm in, is because what I've learned from playing football and my work habits and my practice habits. So those things are the things I'm proud of him about. And so yeah, I mean, again, back to doing this stuff. Not really. I mean, honestly, not not really. I'll give you a sense, like even last Wednesday. So again, I'm talking to you now from Rhode Island. As much as I've held him off the ice for the last couple months, it's almost impossible to do that. And I've kind of jumped back down into like a cannonball back into craziness of hockey world, where he's a week sleepaway camp at BU, back to his first tournament, because our regular season teams does one spring summer tournament just to get the kids together. So we had that at the mini Chowder Cup, right to 2 days or 3 days at Providence, to the point where Providence was Wednesday. They did a morning skate. They got an invitation to go skate with a couple NHL guys 45 minutes away. So that was morning up at 6:30, morning 11 o'clock skate. So they literally just took their clothes off and 45-minute skate. I'm crazy. Drove them they skated with a couple NHL guys, really cool.
You could say who he skated with. Good.
No. But I was planning on taking them to Maine for a couple of days, because again, I want them to be kids. I want them to go to the beach. They don't have to be. And then on the way up, they got invited by one of the Top Gun coaches, because he's like, "You coming up here? The kids want to play 3-on-3." And then of course they're like, "Yeah, let's go play 3-on-3. Let's go play in 3-2. I'm like, we could just leave and go to the beach right now. No. Let's go play 3-on-3. Let's go play on 3-on-3. So I basically wasted a whole night's hotel room, because now I don't get to this hotel until 11 o'clock, because they were on it at 7 o'clock in the morning. They did a mid-afternoon skate, and then an hour and change of a 3-on-3 skate in Massachusetts. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why do I say yes to these kids? But so, yeah, that's where they're at. But now they're back at another week sleepaway at BU camp. So my wife hasn't seen me. She hates me. My daughter they're basically they're in Ocean City, Maryland with her family. And that's why I always tell my son, I'm like, buddy, you better love doing this, because we are, I miss a lot of time with my daughter. I miss time with my wife. I miss time with doing some of this stuff. And he's happy. And I don't regret it, because it's taking him to, and my wife sees it, where he wants to be and what he wants to do. But I would feel like if your kid's giving you pushback, I tell my son all the time, and I'm not joking when I say this, the day you say you don't want to do this, or the day I have to drag you somewhere, and it's not an ego, I don't care. It's not a mean thing. I'm happy to go play golf on the weekends. I'm happy to go upstate skiing in the wintertime. I'm happy to spend time at my daughter's football games.
Just go do something else.
I mean, just doing that. Like I'm happy. So, but as long as he's willing to wake up and do those things, for me, I'm going to give him, I'll put behind him. And again, I'm not always the easiest person to deal with him on his level. And that's for a whole nother podcast of, I think, what we could talk about, of personal relationships, of actually being the dad, because there's a way to navigate this hockey world as a parent, and this world that we have to navigate with other parents and coaches, and taking them to these things and making the proper decision. So that's one aspect of being a hockey parent. And then there's the other aspect of, what's your relationship like with your child, and the ebbs and flows of that. And I think that's something I'm definitely struggling with myself personally right now. I think this weird age of the puberty level, and this is real. I mean, again, the earlier people that are listening to this is a weird year. This is, I think, and everybody tells you this is the weirdest, sloppiest year of hockey, because you have kids. I just took them to Providence, this camp this week, and there's 13-year-olds that are walking in with full beards, more hair on their legs than I have, tall, huge. And then you have these kids that
haven't hit it yet.
They haven't sniffing a pube hair. Like they're not anywhere close to that, right? But you also see a different mentality. Yeah, there's a different mentality there. And my son's on the not close to puberty yet. And his best friend, or it could be, he is going through it. But you see the difference in mentality. And that's something I struggle with, right, as a parent, because I'm in the car. I've been in the car with both of these boys since they've been 3. They've literally gone to every practice together, every tournament together. If I can't fly him somewhere, Kareem or his wife's taking him somewhere. And if I can't, but they're always together. And so I've seen this maturation of 2 kids that are completely separate. So it's hard to judge your son when somebody else is here. And it's not because it's just their, you know, and my wife always tells me you can't judge them like that, but it becomes hard as a parent, and how you judge somebody, and how to affect my relationship with my child. So again, that's a whole nother separate topic, I think, for a different day. That I think how you guys interact with your own child. But I think, you know,
No,
it's not easy being in this world, and navigating
no.
your own social aspects of what you have to be with other parents, with your
Yes.
coaches, with the pressures you feel from, again, keeping up with the Joneses it's real, man, and it's
Oh
real.
yeah. Oh
Buying these
yes.
$250 sticks that continue to break, and
Eleven
again,
hundred
like
dollar
Jimmy said,
skates.
yeah, a $1,200 skates with an extra set of steel, and yeah, and if you don't have it because somebody else has it, I mean, what do? Your kid's disappointed in you, right? Like,
It's true.
you
It's
know,
true. We've
and
touched on that last episode, as a matter of fact, right, Scott?
yeah, yeah,
100%.
I mean, it's the FOMO in this game is real. It really
yeah,
is FOMO, and the pressure, from outside. And I'm sure it's not just ice hockey, right? But obviously we're in the throes of it. So, but Chris, you actually made a very interesting point. You mentioned, you're having a tough time with Ryan right now. Is that because he's getting moody because he's a certain age? Because I know my kid is certainly getting moody. I mean, oh my goodness.
yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, here's a I'll tell you a story of, you know, honestly, it's Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day, right? And it's raining outside in New York City. Kids can't do anything. We technically don't have any hockey. So Liz, my wife, she just wanted to go get a little manicure, pedicure, a little massage, do stuff. We were going to go out to dinner that night. She didn't really want to do anything. So my son is on my ass to take him to, there's this studio, small little studio rink in City Ice, right? It's a place that he grew up in. I want to go shoot pucks. I want to go shoot pucks. I want to go shoot pucks. He's telling me, I'm like, but it's Mother's Day. Mommy's going here. So she goes in the room. Mommy, can I go shoot pucks? So like, yeah, let's go. All right, she can go. I'm gonna go. I'm like, oh my God, now instead of sitting on a couch and watching golf or just even taking a nap, God forbid, for the first time, then I find myself in a car in the rain driving over to the studio rink. So I told him, I said, all right, if we're going to be here, we're going to do this. We're just going to work on your shot, right? There's things that coaches need to work on. We're going to work on it. I'm going to feed you some one timers. You have to listen to me. I'm tired of you like kind of talking back. So we go and I'm feeding him shots, and I see a couple things he's doing wrong, but of course I don't know anything, right? So the talk back comes from him, and of course I get extremely frustrated. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. You have this out for the next 45 minutes. Do yourself. Of course, now he's, no, I don't want you. I'm sorry. And it comes like this battle. And, I'm like, done. I literally got off this. Do your time, come on. And I got home, and I told my wife, I'm like, it's all my fault. This is all me. It's like, I have these expectations of what I wanted or how I perceive a situation, and how I know how I would react, even as a child. Like, I remember vividly doing things in football when I did. It's like, somebody told me one thing. Nope. Somebody told me I was wrong or did something bad. I literally would sit there for hours trying to master it, to do it. And I didn't need more than that. And he's different. And I expect him to use my way of thinking, the way I do that. And I told my wife, and I'm like, he's just not me. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know how to relate to him right now. I know he has a different way of thinking, but I'm just trying to give him what I know and the way I would react to a situation. And I'm trying to give him the way I would be motivated. And it's not motivating him right now, but I don't know how to do something different. And so, there's times I either pull back and don't say anything. I gotta be honest, I never watch a practice anymore. That is just a recipe for disaster. So all you parents that are
100%.
out there that are
Absolutely.
young and you feel like you need to watch every second of every one of your kids' practices and you go, don't do it. We started
Listen to this man.
men's pickleball.
Yes.
Jamie helped us. We all the guys get together and play. Either we have men's dates where we go out for dinner and a drink when their kids are practicing, just strap them up at the front. Or we've started like this little pickleball league where we spend 2 hours of the guys and a couple of the moms on the team get together into 2 hours and literally play pickleball when they're practice, because you're literally just trying to nitpick every mistake that they ever do. And so I've gotten better at that, but it doesn't mean I'm perfect. Listen, I try not to say anything 90% of the time, but then you're you're at a tournament and you're having a couple beers with the dads and you go to the game and you come home and you don't say anything in front of anybody, but you have those moments where it's like, what the hell were you doing? What were you thinking? You're not doing hard enough. You know? So I have it. And that's when he gives pushback now. And that's when he's like, you know, and if I say something nice to somebody else, or, you know, his friend that's in the car, you know, that where you glaze him so much, you like him more. I'm at that stage. You know, it's like we're at that stage right now. And it's hard because you want to have a relationship with them and you love them more than anything, right? And you do. And you know one day they'll be appreciative to you, but you know they don't understand. And you, again, they just don't think the way you do, right? And so that
Not
becomes
yet. Not
and
yet,
they
because
will, right?
yeah, they will. We're grown adults, right? I mean,
Right.
it's funny how I think we all expect our kids to think like a 40-year-old adult who has experiences, right? You know, I know I sure do. I expect my kid to, I'm like, why don't you know this? You know, and I have to step back and be like, you know, he's never experienced this. I could tell him till I'm blue in the face,
Yeah.
right? But until he does it and goes through it and goes, oh shit, that's what my dad's been talking about. And finally it clicks, right? You know, but I think we all expect, and I think we all forget when we were their age, you know, were we playing in such competitive sports? Did we have the pressure that our kids had? I don't think I did,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I mean, I didn't. Everything was my own. And again, the same thing. I drove my bike to my baseball games by myself, you know, and every once in a while, if they could, or you literally just sat on the curb waiting for somebody to get off work to pick you up. So
to pick you
practice could
up.
have ended and you
Yes.
had no
Yes.
idea when that person was coming to pick you up, right? You were just,
That's
literally just
right.
sitting there from baseball or doing stuff. And
Yeah.
no, we're
That's right.
there all the time. We're over involved, which at times is a good thing, right? I mean, and times is, you know, obviously, and not so much. So, yeah, and I gotta be honest. So the greatest thing that I have, and Jamie knows him, and maybe has a different relationship with him, but our coach that's coaching our team right now had never coached youth before. You know, he coached in the AHL, he coached in the ECHL, right? He's kind of been a scout for some of these junior teams. And just a couple of weeks ago, I had a conversation with. He's like, Chris, I'm letting you know right now. It's like, your son's path is just different than everybody else. I promise you, he's going to get there. You're expecting things to happen now. It's not his body type. He's not going through puberty. Just relax. And, 75% of it I take and I guess, okay, I do it. And then you have those moments where you go watching, you're like, oh man, he was shit today. And you don't, because then you do somebody else and you fall back into it. And I'll call Jason. I'm like, man, I trust you, but I'm like, shit, it was hard today. I'm like, literally, like, and because we just played one of his first tournaments, right? He's just now played two tournaments in the last couple weeks, but it's like he hadn't played again a game since March, and so of course, how do you expect him to jump into a tournament and then ultimately like play pretty well? It's not that he played bad. It's just you always want your kid to be one of the best or to stand out or do stuff, and then so Jay's like, Chris, he's like, who cares? He's like, at this end of the game, he's like, I'm happy. He's like, because he's going to be fresh and he'll pick it up. He might be sloppy for the first 2 weeks in September. And then in come October, he's going to be fresh and he's going to pick stuff up faster than everybody else. And he's like, now I'm going to be dealing with kids that just played 75 games in the spring and they look decent when they come to camp. And he goes, by October, I got a bag of shit because these kids can't skate or they're exhausted or they're hurt, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and injury is part of it. I dealt with an injury at the end of last year that we didn't diagnose until after the season.
I
He
didn't know
wound up.
that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like he played Pee Wee Quebec, and it was before he was complaining about his groin hurting. Right, my groin hurts, can't do this stuff. Went to Pee Wee Quebec. He didn't say anything till to me after because he knows, I'm not somebody that, I care about the game, but if you're injured or you can't do stuff, you're going to just hurt yourself more. So take the time.
Yeah.
You can take a couple skates off. You can do stuff, get yourself and healthy because you need to play an important game or something. So he didn't let me know. And then we go through districts and then he's complaining at districts, wants this like special tape that these kids put up. I don't even know what the hell it does, the stretchy tape or whatever, put it on. And then it's not working. And then district's done. So I'm like, finally, I'm going to take him to the doctor and go, and he's explaining to me. And in college, I tore my hip flexor, right? So he's doing stuff. And I'm like, right, I don't think it's your groin. No, of course he fights me. No, it's my groin. It's my groin. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's his hip flexor. So I take him to like not a chiropractor, but like a doctor, whatever, sports medicine kind of stuff. And does
Yeah.
stuff. He's like, you probably have either a really bad strain or a partially tear of your hip flexor. And he's like,
No.
And I'm like, he's like, I don't think you need to do an MRI. He's like, he should probably be off skates for a little bit. He's like, let me evaluate his hips. So his one leg is longer than the other, the way his foot comes down, right? And he looks at it. He's like, he's got some of these issues that start a little bit with his ankles and his stuff. And he's, of course, because he wants to skate, and I happy to let him skate all the time. He wound up having an injury, and I had to hold him off for a little bit. And then this is what the guy said. He's like, dude, man, he's like, you don't need to be skating all the time. You can still be doing hockey stuff by not having to skate and by doing stuff. And so that was my first wake up call of, and again, it wasn't a super serious injury where he was out, but it was, this is overuse. This is continue doing stuff for years. And all of a sudden now he's got this little, tear in his hip flexor. That's, so
that hip flexor is a pretty common injury for ice hockey players.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's hard to hold your kid off, especially when they're asking for it, like Ryan does. It's a challenge that we all have to manage, and it's not easy.
Yeah, and again, part of it's our own ego, right? I mean, to be honest, right? It's our own ego, because you see that one kid that's a little bit better or doing something like that. Well, if he's doing that, I got to do it, and he's shooting or skating, and so if they say let's do it, then you do it, and you don't realize kind of. So again, trying to get better at that. I mean, I'm definitely not there, but I was better than I was last year, and trying to manage what he should and shouldn't be doing at times. So yeah.
Listen, I think we could go on for hours, I think, with this conversation. And I think we're definitely going to have you back on, Chris, because
100%.
Yeah, because and you know what, next time we have you back on, and we'll do a part 1 and part 2. I think that's a great idea by you. And next time we'll actually get into, your relationship with Ryan and stuff like that. Cause I'm sure a lot of parents out there, want to hear that, and some need to hear it, know?
Well, like I said, because we all struggle with our social pressures of having to be in that circle of parents, and again, who you are and who your kid is and your standing and keeping up with them. And again, whether you're at a tournament or, you hear this kid got invited to this tournament, why didn't I? And like that's a whole separate.
It's all very real. Yeah.
Part. Yeah, that's real. That's a whole separate thing, the mental anguish that we deal with that the kids don't know and deal with. And so because of that, your attitude toward your child might be different. How you treat them, in the car, those conversations and all that. Right. And we all go correct. Through it, right. We sometimes we all do it and go through it.
You let your frustrations kind of add on your children, which it's a very real thing in this game,
right?
Which I know we've all gone through. It's very real, So you know what, Chris, we'll wrap this up today, because I know you have dinner plans and stuff like that. But we're definitely going to have you back on if you want to come back on and hang out with us for a little bit. Because this was great, man. This was wonderful. I knew it was going to go well because you're a different type of hockey dad. So I knew this. Having you on for the first episode was.
I'm a closet crazy, dude. I'm crazy.
No, listen. I think we all are. Trust me, we all are. Yeah. But this was very appropriate to have you on for our first dad interview. So this was great. So so thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you putting. Yeah,
Chris,
appreciate
you so much, man.
You taking the time. Yeah.
No worries.
Thank you.
All right, boys. I appreciate being on. We'll talk soon. All right.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Chris.
dinner. Be good, man.
All right, take
care. Later, Chris. See you, bud.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We are back from our first interview with our first hockey dad.
Dude, what a great guy.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a rock star.
And
I knew you. Like I told you, I knew you were gonna like it.
Yeah, and for me, you have a relationship, obviously, and I know blah blah blah. But for me, hearing a dad who's like, obviously not you, and who I've never really got to know at all,
right?
And hear him talk about his challenges, having a kid that's playing,
high level hockey,
high level AAA hockey, and he's going through some of the exact same things that I'm going through, that you're going through,
that I'm sure many of our listeners are going through,
that many of them are, and so it's so the struggle is real, and no matter what, that struggle is not, it does not discriminate. It comes with tier 1
across the
tier 2,
the entire spectrum of
100%.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about just like the parenting piece that he talked about and that he wants to touch on when we have him on again.
Yeah. I think we liked it so much. We're doing a part 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he's going to be in Toronto next week. So we're going to do it when he's up there.
Right.
You know, so yeah, no, he's great. He's you know, maybe I don't know if we can get into it. We might not have enough time because if you know, so he'll get into the relationship with his son Ryan on part 2 of that episode or that interview, and I think like he mentioned in part 1, I would love to actually get into what the two of us went through putting that hockey team together.
Yeah,
because holy crap, the stories that we have from that. And the fact that our wives didn't divorce us during that was crazy.
Well, listen,
crazy.
The legacy,
the amount of time,
the ongoing legacy is that it's the third best team in the 2012 birth year.
Yeah, second or third.
Second or third at the end. of
something
last
like that. Yeah.
So that's no.
No,
joke.
it was legit. I don't think either one of us would ever do it again. Right. And there was a third father that did it with us. I don't think the three of us would ever do that again.
Right.
It's rewarding to see that you know it's funny.
It was
Scott?
successful.
Yeah, you know it's funny because while we were doing it, while we were putting it together, and while people heard about it, other coaches and other heads of other hockey organizations kept telling everybody that it's fake.
I remember you would tell me that, but they were probably saying that because they didn't want you guys to take their kids.
They didn't want us to take their kids, but they were saying that it was a hoax and that it was fake and that it wasn't real. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I remember that we won a tournament, a spring. Once it was put together, we won a spring tournament.
And you're like, oh shit.
And it's funny because Chris and Kareem, who you know, Chris mentioned Kareem and I've mentioned on the podcast, but he mentioned him during the interview. Chris and Kareem actually, like, we didn't have a coach, so he head coached.
Right.
The two of them head coached on the bench. Our like that tournament that we were at.
Right.
It was in like South Jersey where like the Titans play. But I remember we won. And I still have it on Dominic's Instagram. It was a picture of us with a trophy on the ice with Chris and Kareem in the background as the coaches. And I remember writing something to the effect of, wow, they said it wasn't real. This trophy sure looks real, doesn't it? Or something along those lines.
Like it,
I came across it recently, but so I guess, so it was not easy to put together.
Yeah.
You know, and the stories that came out of it were legendary, you know?
Yep.
But you're right. There's I would say a legacy, but it's built.
It's built.
It's there.
And it's a thing, and it's real, and it's good.
Yeah, and they're doing really well,
Yeah,
which is
that's
really
awesome.
cool to see.
Yeah.
Again, would never do it again.
Right.
But because I think if I did, my wife and Chris's wife would definitely, and Phil's wife too, we would be divorced.
Right. Well.
Yeah. But Chris is great.
Yeah. No. 100%. Looking forward to the next episode. All right.
Yes.
So,
Same.
so quick rant. You know, just to keep that segment flowing.
Yeah. On your show notes, you wrote.
I had a code word.
You did
because I didn't want you.
And I sure don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Are you ready for the big reveal?
Page Deng, D-E-N-G. That's what you wrote.
That was a code word.
I
just
see
so
this.
I remember.
Okay. I'm so curious what your rant's about, by the way.
It's about cage hang.
It's about what?
Cage. Cage hang.
Oh,
fucking hang.
I don't like it.
No.
I hate it.
Not only do I hate it, I think
Hate
it's
it.
dangerous.
Of course it is.
And all the college players have fucking hang. And then
well, that's where all of our kids want it.
I understand that.
Oh,
so when
dude.
I went to pick up Otto from
Page Dang. I got you now. Cage hang.
Cage hang.
Fucking hate it.
Fucking hate it.
Hate it.
So when I picked up Otto from there were two things that
This
I noticed
is a good
right off
one,
the bat.
by the way.
I noticed right off the bat when I got to New Hampshire, I picked up Otto from hockey camp. Number one, flame tape was everywhere.
You said that during the last episode.
So that was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But then he couldn't have loosened up his like straps on his helmet
anymore.
Like they're at the very wit's end.
Oh yeah, man.
And I'm looking, and he's asked me about it before, and I was like, dude, no, not okay.
No.
And not because
I hate it.
But it's also my thing is the dangerous part of it.
Well, I mean, it well, good God, you tell what can it go back into your neck?
Well, no, I don't know about back into it. It certainly doesn't.
like,
so, like, if you get hit from
below,
someone's coming up on you.
Yeah,
it'll knock your helmet back.
I
so
would
clearly
think so.
You have a chin strap, so that'll help keep it down.
Right.
But
hopefully.
But part of it is also like you can get a piece of the metal cage, or I suppose the plastic, fish
in your
bowl.
face.
But you can get it. Like, you can cut your chin. It can definitely hit you on the bone.
I would think your teeth as the cage comes up.
It depends how loose your
if
chin
the chin
strap is.
comes up.
The
right?
whole situation is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Otto had cage hang, and I was like, bro, no,
I hate it. Yeah.
Done. Like, this is the last time.
You got to put the nix
gotta
on
keep
that.
it down.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Oh, so that he did that while he was there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and so I was looking at him like, bro, let's get a few things clear. Number 1, dangerous. Number 2, you are not a collegiate player. Number 3, your focus should be on things other than your sty points while you're on the ice.
Can I add something to your rant?
Yes, please.
Because there's something else that's very similar to cage hang that I also hate.
Which is?
That my kid keeps asking me for, which I keep telling him no.
Okay. What?
I mean, if you had to guess, and it's part of your sty thing that you were just saying.
He wants lettuce?
Oh, his hair?
Yeah.
I mean, his hair is not... So when he gets his hair cut, right? When my kid gets his hair cut, he actually says to the girl, he's like, you can't cut the back so hard. He's like, because I need it to hang out of the back of my helmet. He says that to her.
You know what he should do?
He says that to her.
He should bring his helmet with him to the barber so he puts it on just
so she can see where it comes to.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's wild, by the way.
Wait, he wants
but that's not
eye black.
No. We did eye black during our outdoor game in Buffalo, though. That was cool.
Okay.
That was cool. Yeah.
So it's not eye black.
It's not eye black, and it is not his hair coming out the back of his helmet.
Does he want one of those CHL really skinny neck guards? You ever see those in the CHL?
No, actually. Shockingly,
some of these guys wear some very skinny. It's like wearing a skinny tie.
You're not even protecting yourself.
Listen, I don't know, but that's like a kind of a thing.
War Road, people. War Road.
Okay.
War Road. All right. So Dominic wants and has been asking me for a while now.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants a tinted bubble.
Oh Lord,
bro.
So you're gonna do it?
Yeah, right. You know what I call it?
What?
I call it the douche bowl. I'm like, Dominic, do you see anybody with that? I'm like, it's just for douchebags.
So, well, listen.
It's like called the douche bubble or the douche bowl.
So one of Otto's teammates.
Douchebags, Dom. Douchebags. You can't have that.
Otto's team last year, they had their colors were green, white, gray. So one of the kids had it tinted green.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal to have.
Well, he never got stopped. I personally was like, I was like looking out into a green universe would be a little odd to me, but whatever.
I hate them. I've never seen one kid on the ice with a tinted visor, with a tinted bubble or tinted ball.
I don't. Yeah. Can you buy it of like a non?
Oh, Dominic found them. He showed me a website,
like online.
Oh yeah, he wants like purple or blue.
Oh no!
I was like, bro, no way. Are you out of your mind?
No.
I'm like, dude. I'm like, no. I'm like, you look like a total douchebag. I'm like,
listen,
no
I don't know that they necessarily. Some of them, I don't know.
I was not having it.
I wasn't gonna. I wouldn't.
He's like, Dad. He's like, if I get a hat trick, he's like, would you get me tinted bubble? I'm like, no.
Yeah, you can put it on your nightstand.
Yeah, and then I told him, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's on its way. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is it really? I'm like, no.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No.
Anyway,
so that's just as bad as cage hang.
So cage hang, yeah, that's something I'm, had to tamp down, and I feel like it's not going to be the last. But
no, it's not.
No, but it's also more from a danger thing safety thing. Is
I'd be curious to see what the story is there. By the way,
like what the rules say.
Like how dangerous that can actually get. Like I'm sure there's stories about how the
You can look it up.
Like, that's what I mean. I think we
Next
should.
episode,
I was just saying we should actually come back to that.
Yeah, but
that was a good rant by you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was very.
But listen,
good,
I think we need to wrap it up. Let's just give one last shout out to our partners.
Yes. Howie's Hockey. Use our crazy 10 promo code, please, for 10% off. It really helps us. It helps us deliver more content to you guys. Obviously, we're getting a lot of downloads, so I'm assuming you guys are liking what we're putting out. Thank you very much for that, by the way. We really appreciate it. Also, Pro Stride, Angelo Circe, Pro Stride Elite Skating. Our promo code is CHD, the number 10, for 10% off of Angelo's clinics. He is tremendous. And then API we're going to have kind of moving forward possibly with your buddy Eric.
Yep,
All
Athletic Performance Insight.
Right.
Yep.
So that's coming.
Take a look there.
Yes. Thank you for everybody for downloading, for subscribing on Instagram or on TikTok, or I know we have Reels out now, like you were saying, on YouTube.
We got one, but there will be more.
There will be more.
You got to start somewhere, dude.
100%. Got to start. Hey, listen, we're on episode 20, right? You got to start somewhere, right? I mean, and now we're on 20.
Let's go.
So thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. We could not do this without any of you, not only in the United States and Canada, but around the globe, which is crazy town. Thank you again to my buddy Chris Vollmer for coming on. Really good interview. Really hope you enjoyed it, Scott.
100%.
He's a great dude. He's a very, very wise hockey parent. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I think it was so good that we're doing a part 2 with him.
Yep.
Hopefully next week. So thank you again, everybody. I hope you enjoy your week. Keep downloading, keep sharing, write us comments. If you want us to talk about something, even tell a funny story, please let us know.
Yep.
We really appreciate all the support, and we will catch you guys in the next episode.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
All right.
Thanks,
take it easy,
buddy.
Bye.
All right. Peace.